keen observation or taking more notes, you're realizing that he's not just looking out the window. But guess what, guys? He's having a mental breakdown. It's a seizure. A seizure is starting to take place. Guys, what's up? Listen, aren't you happy in being here? I know I am, guys. Come on now. Come on. Thank you so much for being here. You know, this is your boy, I'm Lorenzo. All right, and welcome to Lorenzo's React. So, for those of you who are already subscribed, please, you know you can go ahead and share these videos, right? You know that. I know you do. And for those who are the first time visitors, please feel free. Browse the channel, look at the material that we offer, and just click on that subscribe button. And guess what? Turn on those notification bells and go right ahead so you can be notified when I drop new content. Listen, guys, just think about this for a moment, all right? Think about you've always imagined that you want to be a pilot, right? You've always imagined trying to get into piloting school. Maybe it was difficult and the finances weren't there, and you do some savings, you work some long hours, whatever the case is. But you grind, and now you can finally, be on path, on a road towards your career. Or maybe it's an hobby that you always wanted to have, but you're finally getting the chance to do it. Guys, that is exciting. What? Oh my goodness. And you did your first lesson. It was great. You took to the skies. You were in bewilderment. You were saying, my God, I can't believe I'm learning to fly an airplane. Wow. And you did like the second one again, and it was a similar feeling, maybe even more. There's just ecstasy, there's just amazement, and your instructor turns to you and say, listen, you're one of the best students I've had in a long time. Guys, wouldn't you be feeling great? I know I'll be feeling great. I'll be saying, wow, thank you. And so your anxiety, your awareness to be even better is going to move from here to here, or even here. Now just imagine, guys, that same situation, right? The third time now. You're coming out on another day with a new airplane, because now you have surpassed the operation of the first aircraft. So now you're going to be flying a new aircraft. But you're just so excited about the whole experience. And you did your checks, everything going well, and you took off to the skies, and it's just as before. And maybe, say, 10 minutes into the flight or so, you're realizing that your instructor stopped responding, right? You're not thinking much of it because you're just saying, maybe he's just looking out the window and relaxing and trying to, maybe he's drawn back to some experience that he had before. And when upon keen observation or taking more notes, you're realizing that he's not just looking out the window. But guess what, guys? He's having a mental breakdown. It's a seizure. A seizure is starting to take place, and all of a sudden, you're about to lose your mind, guys. This is about your third lesson, your third lesson in a new aircraft. Your instructor is having a seizure, a panic attack. You don't know what to do. You're in the air. You're in the air. What would you do? And so we're going to be looking at a video, right? So while you're figuring out what would you do, I want you to take a look, guys. Take a look at this video. Tell me what you think. All right, let's go.
Student pilot Max Sylvester had not spent more than 10 minutes in control of an aircraft during his first 2 flying lessons, and during his third, his instructor, who had so far watched his every move, became unconscious, leaving.
So my bad, guys. Listen, it's only 10 minutes of flight time this guy, Max, has ever had around an airplane. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, guys. Is that enough for you to lift off and land the plane? Listen, listen, guys. Woo! This is rich. I want to see more. I want to hear more. Let's get right into it. Let's just keep going, guys.
Alone in the cockpit. At 4 p.m. on the 31st of August 2019 at Jandakot Airport in Western Australia, Max settled into the 2-seater Cessna 152 for his 3rd lesson overall and the first in the Cessna 152. As they cruised at 3,500 feet, he noticed his instructor Rob was staring out of the window into the sky. Max assumed he'd seen something, but there was nothing there. The instructor began shaking and it was clear that something was wrong. He was having a seizure. Without flying experience or an instructor, Max was.
Guys, let me say this. For anyone who has ever underwent any form of attack like a seizure and so on, it's not something that you would want to be around because there's so many different responses within the seizure attack that takes place, and the person that the seizure is affecting, they can't do anything to stop it, right? We know that. And so it's a site that can be very much panicky. And so if you're not in a right frame of mind and composed, you can add to that panic that is already happening. And so I can't even begin to imagine what Rob, the instructor, must have been going through, right? And maybe this is the first time anything like this has been happening to him in the middle of the air. I don't know. I don't know. And then to even think further, the fact that it was happening in the air with a student pilot who only had 10 minutes of flight time. And this is the new aircraft that they're in, the Cessna 152. So current with the aircraft, and at the same time, he's not so brought up to speed when it comes to all that he needs to know when it comes to flying. He just has minimal idea, information, and not much practical time, guys. It's just mind-boggling how everything just unfolded. But we're just going to take further look and see how everything unfolds. And again, please let me know, what would you do in a situation like this?
Max left alone to deal with the emergency, and he had his wife and 3 children waiting on the ground. This is the conversation between Max and air traffic control.
Emergency, emergency, emergency. This is Tango Foxtrot Romeo. Can you hear me?
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, Jandakot Tower. I can hear you. What's the problem?
I can't hear you very well.
I don't even know the first term to make, and luckily for Max, he was able to find the radio and contact the towers, and by saying Tango whatever, trying to reach out to them so that they were notified and they could follow up with an information as to how he should go about landing this aircraft. Because think about it, guys, Max has a wife and 3 children. A wife and 3 children waiting waiting on the ground for him to go to. What are the odds of all days, guys, of all days? Your instructor is having a seizure. You're in a new aircraft. You've only gotten 10 minutes of flight time. And you need to somehow get in touch because you got to take this bird out of the air and put it back on the ground. Man, that's a lot of pressure, guys. But let's keep listening.
Do you have a transponder on board?
I can hear you very well. I'm going to decrease my engine so I can hear you a little bit better.
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, do you know what your altitude is?
Can you hear me?
Romeo, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Tango Foxtrot Romeo, do you know where your transponder is? Tango Foxtrot Romeo, are you familiar with how to operate the airplane?
Very, very light. This is my first lesson.
Can you imagine? He's asking some aircraft term that I myself don't even know the first thing to do. He's asking where's the transponder, and the poor guy is just trying to make sense of it. All right, transponder, looking around, trying to recall, and in a situation that will bring panic to anyone. I mean, if you should put yourself in that situation, you would know the pressure that you may have been feeling. I mean, experienced pilots have had issues in landing aircraft before. We know this, guys. This is a student that has just been, a student that has just had 10 minutes of flight time, guys. When I saw this, I was like, wow, there is a lot of story here, and I want to see what is the end result, because I tried to put myself in that situation and to see how I would have responded, because guys, that is not an easy position to be in. Wow. Let's continue, guys.
Instructor at the moment, are they unconscious?
He's leaning over my shoulder. I'm trying to keep him up, but he keeps falling down.
Just on the aircraft. The first thing we're going to do is make sure that the wings stay level and that you keep consistent speed and consistent altitude.
At the moment, my altitude is 1,900.
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, Roger. Do you know if you have a transponder on board? Do you know what that is?
Copy that, I do.
Okay, do you know what it's reading right now?
What's that, sorry?
What's the numbers on the transponder?
Can you repeat that, please?
What are the numbers on the transponder reading?
The reading is nose down.
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, can you see any obvious landmarks? For example, the Kwinana Freeway. Can you see that out the window at all?
Yes, I can see Thompson Lake.
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, Cuda.
Guys, in a moment where things are new and a situation is occurring, for any of you that have been in that type of situation where you have not gotten much information about a particular thing, but while you're trying to expand your learning curve and maybe unlearn anything that you thought you knew, a situation that was not expected occurred, and now you're in a state where you're trying not to be in total panic. This is a good time to be calling on God. This is a good time, guys, just to be calling on God, because remember, he's right there in the tower. The tower is responding to him as best as they can, and he's trying to make sense of all the navigation system and all that is happening while he's still flying the aircraft, and maybe have to be bracing up his instructor so that he can keep, abreast and ahead of everything that is going on right now. Now is the time, guys, in this situation, not to lose your minds, but to be composed, and trying to get this done. Come on, Max. Max, you can do it. Let's go, guys.
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, good. I think we have you identified at the moment. Can you see the Jandakot Airport at all? I've activated the rotating light on top of the tower. At the moment it looks like you're heading north, and it should be, if you look directly ahead and then to the right just a little bit, you should see the runways there. Can you see that?
I'm just going over Thompson Lake. We were originally meant to be going through the boat shed and then coming through, but what runway do you want me to land on?
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, we will try to get you in for runway 30. You can come straight to the airport right now if you like, come direct to Jandakot.
Copy that. Do you want me to wash some of this speed off? Because currently I'm at 2,600 and my airspeed is 1,110.
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, we did copy that. We're just trying to visually identify you at the moment. Can you make a very gentle right turn for me, and that'll help us identify who you are?
Copy that. Doing a right turn now.
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, thanks. We can see you out the window, so we're tracking where you are at the moment. You're doing a really great job. I know this is very stressful, but you're doing an amazing job, and we're going to help you get down to the ground, okay?
If I do a flyover first, please.
As well, to your company, just to make them aware of everything that's happening, so they can help out as needed shortly. So if you want to just straight away, we'll just overfly to the field and get you nice and comfortable with that. So you can just overfly direct Jandakot, and we'll get you having a look at the runways so that you're familiar with the runway that we're going to get you to land on.
Copy that. I'll just do a fly around then.
Tango Foxtrot Romeo, there's currently no other traffic airborne at Jandakot at the moment, so you're not going to be getting too close to anyone. That's going to be fine.
Sorry, what was that? Can you repeat that?
Foxtrot Romeo, there's no one else airborne at Jandakot at the moment. You're the only one up there, so you can take your time just getting familiar. There's no one else that you're going to be getting anywhere close to. If you want to reduce your speed there, just watch, it's called your RPM, that 2,600 that you were talking about, that's your RPM. Just make sure that the numbers on that are in the green, not yellow or red. And you can just gently reduce that speed there, but just keep an eye on your speed, that you're not going into the red too much, and keeping those wings level and keeping your nose nice and level on the horizon.
Yes, copy that. I've decreased it now just under 2,500, so I'll just maintain this at the moment.
Okay, Tango Foxtrot Romeo, we're getting an instructor out at the moment to help give you more specific information for your aircraft. Right now you're flying in that 1-2 direction, so the runway that you're sort of going in the direction of is going to be opposite direction to where you're going to be flying to. Did you want to make a slight right turn? If you want, yep, there you go. So just continue that nice right turn for me, and out the right hand side of the window you'll see the runways, and I'll just get you to have a look at the runway you're going to land on.
Copy that. Thanks for your help.
Alright, that's what we're here for.
Lucky I remembered how to put onto the actual right radio, because we were on the ATIS.
Yeah, the ATIS won't be helping you, but I will be able to help you. That's what we're here for, so it's a really good thing you're able to find that. So at the right hand side of the window you're going to see runway 30. You'll see an aircraft waiting on the ground right next to the runway, and that's the threshold that you're going to land on. Can you see that?
Yes, I can see the headlights of the aircraft.
Tango Foxtrot Romeo. Just in front of you and just slightly to the left is the runway we're going to land you on. That's runway 30. So if you're able to see it, there's 3 runways at the airport. There's 2 that are parallel to each other. There's one single runway that's crossing across both of them. That runway is out to your left right now. That's the runway we're going to land you on. Can you see that? Big 30 on the threshold?
Yep, copy that.
Yes, that's the one we're going to land you on. So what I want you to to do now is make a left 90-degree turn to start flying along that runway, and that's going to get you into a nice circle pattern that's going to fly you along the runway and then back onto a left turn to sort of start doing a circle over that runway, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you just want me to do a circuit around that runway?
That's correct. So right now, just straighten up, go nice wings level, nice and calm, and straight up the runway, and just fly along the runway so you get an idea of what it feels like to be overflying that runway. Tango Foxtrot.
Wow. And guys, you know, Max is a good listener, and I realized that whenever you're in a position like this, one of the key things that can separate you from, you know, making it through okay and being all right is being attentive with listening. And I realized that he was having some issues in trying to hear the radio at times. But I know God was in it. Guys, God was in this the whole time. The whole time. Because when you listen for Max in the air, you can see that Max was doing everything to remain composed. And he was at peace, trying to take instructions, learning at the same time, and getting familiar. You know, listen, if Max never believed that he was a pilot, then he had to believe it. He had to become. There was a movie that spoke to become another person. He had to become a pilot. If Max, even if you never believed that you were a pilot, you had to become a pilot today, Max. But, you know, they did get some support from Max, and so additional support. And so we're going to see the rest of, you know, as to how things unfolded, where Max totally delivered, all right?
Well done. That's amazing. You've done so well. Just brake right there on the runway, and we're going to have all the vehicles come out and meet you on the runway. Just hold it right there. You've done absolutely an amazing job. Well done. Tango Foxtrot Romeo, just stop the aircraft there. The vehicles are now going to come out and meet you there. Just, yeah, when you're ready, you can just stop there and engine down to idle. Tango Foxtrot Romeo, congratulations on your first solo. Tango Foxtrot Romeo, the emergency vehicles are now with you. Just stop there, engine to idle, full brakes on, and they're going to come out and help you close out the aircraft and get Robertson help. Well done, mate. Catch you later.
An hour after his first contact with air traffic control, he had landed the plane. Attempt number 5 would be the one to bring them to the ground. Max was reunited with his family and his instructor was rushed to the hospital. It turned out he had a brain tumor and Max had saved both of their lives. Only a week or two later, Max was back in the cockpit working towards his commercial license. The instructor said he was lucky to be flying with Max on that Saturday in August. Thanks for watching. Watch more air traffic control videos by clicking on the screen, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Max, I don't know you, man, but Max, this is for you, Max. Max, this is for you. Max, that's what we're talking about. Come on, Max, come on. That's what we're talking about. You know Max, you had to land that aircraft. You had to. If you didn't, you would have run out of fuel. And not only that, the longer you stay up there, it's more moments to set in for fear and anxiety to set in. And after 5 going around, just to be sure, with the right amount of airspeed and, you know, positioning right, on the 5th try, he landed the plane. Come on, man. Max, listen, man. I believe Max deserves a medal. Anyone else believe that? Listen, Max, you deserve a medal. And, you know, they later found out that the instructor had a brain tumor. And he was rushed to the hospital. And, you know, his life was spared. But 2 weeks after that, Max was back in the aircraft. And he was now going for his commercial license. Man, Max was born for the skies. Believe that. Max, you were born for the skies, you know. All the best to you, Max, and continue to save lives. And you know, this was an inspiring video. and I know I've been touched by it. All right. So if anyone else has been touched by this video, go ahead and just type, I've been touched, because very rarely you come across videos like these that is moving, that sends a message of hope. Guys, no matter the situation that you find yourself in, just remember that you are enough. You are able to overcome. You are able to break free. You are able to be successful. Don't be panicked. Don't be stressed out of your mind. Don't be fearful. Just know that God is with you. God is with you, guys. The good book says that He will never leave you nor forsake you. And so if you can always remember that when you face different challenges in life, you will never allow those situations that you feel overwhelmed. But you will always be patient and be true, and just know that God is coming through, man. God is coming through for you. He's coming through for you just like He did for Max, just like He did for Rob, the instructor. All right? Please, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. I'll see you soon, guys.